Subscribe, hype, like, click the notification bell and turn on all notifications. And donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash SeanzViewEnt.
Tonight, it's all on the line in the octagon. Two fighters, two women, two females who are going to give you every single thing that they have. One of them, a former WWE star, Ronda Rousey, who has performed and wrestled in a WWE ring. But tonight is a very different animal, where there is no scripts, where there is no storylines, where there is no practice. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, for the first time in nearly 10 years, remember, for more videos like this, remember to like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, and turn on all notifications, and remember to donate below. I need you to understand something right here and right now. This is not professional wrestling, although Rousey has been a former WWE superstar, right? She has been a WWE women's wrestler. She has held a title in the WWE as Ronda Rousey. But tonight, this is not WWE. This is not an angle. There is no script. There is no agent backstage telling people how the match is going to end. This is real mixed martial arts, real punches, real kicks, real submissions, real knockouts. People have died in this sport, ladies and gentlemen, yes. And that is why the word death, dies, and dead get associated a lot with MMA and UFC, because not only can your career die, but you can die in that octagon. Oh, it can happen, and it has happened. And we're going to touch on that because, ladies and gentlemen, Ronda Rousey knows, as well as Gina, the opponent, the opposition, knows this. Every fighter who steps into that octagon, that cage, knows that one bad punch could end their career. It could end their health or their life. Not just a punch, but it could be a simple kick, a submission maneuver. Ladies and gentlemen, with both combatants knowing this tonight, Ronda Rousey has indeed died. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, but not in the way that you may suspect. But again, we are going to get into the proof, the evidence, the facts. Guys, you want to talk about death hoaxes? There have been plenty of death hoaxes in the world, but this one might hit the hardest, because what I'm about to present to you is no hoax. Is there hope for Ronda Rousey, who is 39 years old? With all of this on the table, she has not fought MMA since 2016. She has two small children. She has retired from professional wrestling, the WWE. Ronda Rousey appeared in AEW. And tonight she walks into a cage against Gina, live on Netflix in front of millions, where anything can happen at any time. This could be the comeback story of the year. But before tonight can be a comeback and marked as successful for Ronda Rousey, we have to talk about what she is coming back from. Because the truth nobody wants to say out loud tonight is this. Ronda Rousey's careers in both the UFC and WWE towards the end absolutely did die. They died slowly, they died painfully, they died prominently in front of millions of people who watched it happen and did not know what to do. Two career deaths. One woman, and tonight in a sport where the ending can be permanent, she is trying to write a different run, is Ronda Rousey. This is her full story. What is up, everybody? This is SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and speculation in the tabloid lane. Everything you are about to hear is opinion, reporting, and for entertainment. Let's get into it. Now, I told you at the top, people have died in this sport. Now, let me tell you exactly what I mean, because you see, I've done my research. Since 2007, there have been 20 recorded deaths in sanctioned mixed martial arts contests, 9 more in unsanctioned bouts. That is 29 human beings who walked into a cage and never walked back out, ladies and gentlemen. We can name off the names, but why am I going to do that when there's Google, there's AI, there's Yahoo, there's not, Ask Jeeves is even dead nowadays. One of them being Sam Vasquez, Houston, Texas, October 2007, took a punch to the chin, collapsed, had a seizure, slipped into a 48-hour coma, died from blunt trauma to the head and a subdural hemorrhage. He was 35 years old. Then there was that one in Dublin, Ireland in April 2006, lost a TKO, walked out of the cage, died 48 hours later from multiple brain bleeds. And here is what makes this Ronda Rousey situation very different. Almost every one of those deaths came from the same thing: blunt force trauma to the head, to the skull, subdural hemorrhages, brain bleeds, and in many cases, second impact syndrome, where two heads below And guys, this is the sad part. This is what there's a warning, and this is why I don't like this predicament with Ronda Rousey going in this. Where two hard blows to the head, even weeks apart, combine to overwhelm the body's ability to recover. Two blows to the head, even weeks apart. Hold on to that detail because it matters for what comes next. Ronda Rousey is 39 years old. She has not fought MMA in 9.5 years. Both of those facts independently raise her injury risk tonight. Combined, they make this one of the most medically dangerous returns in modern combat sports history. The Cleveland Clinic, the same hospital that diagnosed Ronda's migraines, runs the largest ongoing study of combat sports brain health in the world. Their research has documented what happens to fighters as they age. Repetitive head trauma is associated with chronic traumatic CTE with Parkinson's, cognitive decline with mood disorders. The good news from the research, fighters who stop fighting can see some recovery in memory and processing speed. Their brains can heal partially. The bad news, when those same retired fighters return, even after years away, they walk back into the same risk profile they left. Sometimes worse because age slowly recovery. Age slows reflexes. Age slows the body's ability to absorb impact and bounce back. Ronda Rousey has taken a 9.5 years of rest and walking back into an octagon, a cage, where it's unplanned, it's uncensored, it's uncut at 39 years old against a striker in front of millions of people. It can go beautifully or it can go very, very wrong. It could end up very deadly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here is the piece that nobody is going to talk about, and this is the most medical detail of the entire night. Ronda Rousey lost her UFC career because of migraines and neurological issues that were triggered by being hit in the head. Her own words in an interview this year, the very time Holm hit her in 2015, she lost vision, lost depth perception, lost the ability to track moving objects. That happened one time from one punch. She has been now formally diagnosed at the Cleveland Clinic. She is on preventative migraine medication. She has tested it in sparring and it works. That is great news. But here's the part that should sober every fan watching tonight. Tonight is not sparring. Tonight is a real MMA fight. Gina Carano is a former Strikeforce title challenger, a pioneer of the women's MMA, a woman who once finished 7 straight opponents before losing to Chris Cyborg. She can punch, she can hurt people, and she has a solid headshot tonight, could trigger the exact same neurological cascade that ended Ronda's UFC career. That migraine medication is preventative. It does not stop traumatic brain injury. It does not stop a knockout. It does not protect against second impact syndrome. Ronda Rousey is walking to a cage tonight knowing all of this. Her husband, Travis Brown, is in her corner knowing all of this. Her coaches know it. Cleveland Clinic knows it. She walked in anyway, ladies and gentlemen. And that tells you everything about how much this means to her. Now that you understand exactly what is at stake tonight, let's talk about how she got here. Because the rise and fall of Ronda Rousey is one of the most fascinating stories in modern combat sports history. You have to understand where Ronda Rousey started. She was the inaugural UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion, 12 wins, 0 losses, every win by finish. 11 of them in the first round. She rivaled Conor McGregor as the biggest crossover name in all of combat sports, movies, magazine covers, ESPYs. She was the most marketable female athlete in the world. Then came November the 14th, 2015, UFC 193, Australia, 56,000 people watching. Ronda Rousey versus Holly Holm. Round 2. Holm landed a head kick that ended Rousey's reign in the most brutal way imaginable. Knockout, unconscious, on the mat. But here is what nobody knew at the time. Rousey was already dealing with serious neurological issues during that fight. Migraines, vision loss. The very time Holm hit her, Ronda lost a huge chunk of her vision and could not track objects. She fought the rest of that match essentially blind. The aftermath was devastating. She covered her face with a pillow at LAX so she wouldn't be photographed. She disappeared into silence for over a year. She tried to come back one time. December the 30th, 2016, UFC 207, Las Vegas. Ronda Rousey versus Amanda Nunes. The fight lasted all but 48 seconds. The neurological issues that she had been hiding, they were worse. She was being hit and could not see clearly, could not think clearly. Nunes landed combination after combination. The referee had no choice, stopped it. That was the last time Ronda Rousey ever stepped foot into a UFC stage. She did not give interviews. She did not announce her retirement. She just disappeared silently. Her own words years later, I just felt like it finally caught up to me. It was more than just losing a fight. It was, man, I can't fight anymore. That was career death number 1. A queen destroyed in 48 seconds, walking away in silence while the world watched. But she was not done with combat. She was just done with MMA. And in 2018, she walked into a completely different industry. And for one magical moment, it looked like that she had found a second home. the WWE. But there's this one thing that no one else is going to tell to you about today. A movie scene from 2018 that hits completely different, that now we see how everything played out. In 2018, the same year that Ronda Rousey debuted in WWE, Ronda Rousey starred in a film called Mile 22 with Mark Wahlberg. And in that film, her character dies. There was a death of Ronda Rousey. But it is how she dies that matters. Her character is seriously injured, pinned down, surrounded. The team that maybe this is where the death hoax came from because, they heard that she died or she did die in a movie. But again, it was her character that died. However, the team determines her wounds are too severe. There is no way to rescue her. Bringing her with them would get everyone killed, essentially. So Mark Wahlberg's character hands her 2 grenades, and Ronda Rousey's character pulls the pins herself, detonates them, takes out the enemies closing in around there, and ends her own story on her own terms. She chose how she went out. She dies in that movie. Now think about that. The UFC career that ended in silence. The WWE career that ended in a SummerSlam match nobody talked about. 2 real-life endings that just sort of happened around her. And in 2018, in the middle of all of it, she filmed a scene where her character did the one thing that she never has been allowed to do in real life. She got to choose her ending. She got to write the final page. It is almost too perfect, almost too poetic to be an accident. Ladies and gentlemen, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, MMA rules fight. She lost, and then she was gone again. No big farewell, no tribute, no Hall of Fame announcement, no statement from WWE acknowledging her contributions. Gone. She would later reveal that she had been hiding concussion issues for years while in WWE since the same way that she did the migraines in the UFC. Same way. 2 careers, 2 industries. 2 times her own body screamed at her to stop. 2 times that she has hid the pain because she still wanted to perform. And then that brings us to tonight. Ronda Rousey, 39 years old, walks back into a cage for the first time in nearly a decade against Gina Carano, 2 women who inspired her career in the first place. Live on Netflix, millions watching. She has been diagnosed and treated for the migraines that she had for years. She has died in film. Her careers have died in the WWE and UFC. Will it be resurrected tonight, ladies and gentlemen? This is all opinion, all retrospective, and all for entertainment purposes. We find out tonight. Will it be the explosive Hollywood ending that her movie career got? Or will the real combat sport at 39 years old write something completely different? And when I say in the title, a WWE star died, a WWE star did indeed die in a movie. Yes, her character died in a movie. But will the career of Ronda Rousey truly die tonight? Who do you have winning? Who do you predict? Who will have their arm raised at the end of this tonight on Netflix in an MMA way? Hit that subscribe button. And if you're new, every day we do multiple videos a day to keep you in the know, because that is what we do here on Sean's View Today, because we truly do believe in the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers. Plenty more to come. Subscribe.